So let's get started with this topic today, artificial intelligence leveraging AI in banking. So we will cover these topics: history, challenges, practical applications, and then we'll do a quick dive into a hands-on exercise how to integrate AI with Google Sheets. And then we'll end with a practical example of AI and also custom AI development. All right, so this is what we have is the history of AI timeline. In 1950s, the Turing test was proposed by Alan Turing. Right, so this guy is Alan Turing. He proposed the Turing test. Like the Turing test was, can a computer talk like a human? Is the Turing test. If the answer is yes, then that was a smart computer. But the term AI was not coined just yet. But in 1955, the term AI was born. Right? Some scientists said AI is artificial intelligence, any machine that is able to do human-like work, or any machine that is able to talk like human would be called as artificially intelligent. In 1961, there was a robot named Unimate, and that did a small task of lifting one object from one place in the supply line and putting it to the other place in the supply line, and that was a breakthrough back then. Then we have what was called Elisa. Elisa was able to talk to the other human being, but she was just trying to fool the other human being because intelligence is very subjective. I'll give you an example. When you were a kid, used to be a kid. I used to be a kid. I would just remember one essay on cow, and I'll go to the English exam hall, and there would be a topic on the essay. I will replace cow with any other name. So the essay I would learn would be daily grind of a cow. Every morning, the cow wakes up early, ready to tackle a busy day with the energy of a seasonal professional. In the kitchen, or should I say the field, the cow is a master chef, meticulously choosing the freshest, greenest grass for her meal, mirroring a mother's careful selection of healthy options for her family's dinner. But in the exam, I would get an essay on mother. I would replace cow with my mother. So the essay would be the daily grind of a mother. Every morning, the mother wakes up early, ready to tackle busy day with the energy of a seasoned professional. In the kitchen, or should I say the field, the mother is a master chef, meticulously choosing the freshest. So you get the idea. Intelligence is very subjective. You could end up fooling the other person at the other end, but you may not be intelligent yourself. That's what Elisa did. Elisa would mimic a psychologist and fooled many people into thinking that she was intelligent, but in fact she was not. Then came Cleverbot, just like Elisa, but he would store responses of human beings and he would say the same responses every time someone asks or any question. But it lacked personality. It lacked personality. When some human being would say, or like sounds like that, it would get confused and would not be able to answer in a coherent manner. But scientists would predict by the year 2000, a computer with a memory of 100 MB would be able to mimic a human being. But now we are in the year 2024, and the 100 MB is a thing of the past. Now we have memories in gigabytes, 64 gigabytes, 100 gigabytes, easily available on our computers. So it is much easier that AI is coming to the forefront at a grand scale now. So this is a curve of AI adoption. If you remember the app TikTok, TikTok took 9 months to get 100 million global users, monthly active users, MAUs, and monthly active users. But ChatGPT, on the other hand, took only 2 months to reach 100 million monthly active users. So you see the speed at which the AI is being adopted is staggering. So it is very important that everybody knows about AI. Everybody should know how to actually use AI in their day-to-day job or their day-to-day life. because it will make things easier for everyone, and you will be more productive, and you would find many tough things easy to do, because it is the first time in the history of mankind that everyone has someone more intelligent than them sitting right beside them, in the form of AI, in the form of a website. They can talk to someone who is super intelligent, and they will get really, really perfect or sound advice, or sound information from them. And everybody has access to someone who is very smart. So every big tech has an AI with them. Apple has Siri, Microsoft has OpenAI, Amazon has Alexa, Google has Google Assistant, Tencent has WeChat AI, Samsung has Bixby. Right? So every big company is rolling out with their own AI agent, but not all of the AI agent is smart. So Microsoft, which has OpenAI, is probably in the lead right now, because OpenAI model, which is ChatGPT, is on the lead. Their model works better than all the other models. Right. So how does AI work? ChatGPT is built on a model which is called LLM, Large Language Model, and it has 96 layers and 170 billion parameters. So if you 96 layers, each layer would add a layer of accuracy to the result. For example, if you are using a strainer to strain your wheat or flour, right? So at every layer, when you strain, you get some a finer powder, right, to the next layer. So the layers would add a layer of accuracy. So after passing through the first layer, the data is 40% accurate. After passing through the second layer, the data is 80% accurate. After passing the 50th layer, the data would be 99% accurate. Then it would peak out at certain point. So after adding 96 layers, probably ChatGPT developer thought that adding more layer is not beneficial. So he stopped at 96 layers. And it has 175 billion parameters, which the model is trained by these parameters. So these parameters would make sure that the model is able to understand all kind of data. So it is able to understand data regarding tables. It is able to understand data regarding audio, video. So these are different parameters that it is trained on. So it is trained by something called reinforcement learning from human feedback, RLHF. So every time there is an output of this model, the human being would tell the model, okay, I like this output. This output is great. Maybe they will send a technical reward to the model. That model will feel like, okay, so I got a positive feedback. So this is a positive response. So I will try to do something similar that I did before, right? So you have to train the model by the use of reinforcement learning from human feedback. So take an example. You are a chef. You as a programmer are a chef in a five-star restaurant. You have a sous chef, which is the AI that you have, right? You ask the sous chef to make a burger. The sous chef makes a burger, but you didn't like it. Tell sous chef, okay, I didn't like it. It has to be like that. So you are giving feedback. Sous chef is like AI. You are giving feedback to the AI that you have to make burger like that. And when once you serve burger to someone, some customer, the customer says, okay, give $10 tip to whoever cooked the food. So you go back to the kitchen, you give $10 tip to the sous chef, right? So you are giving a reward to the sous chef, which is the AI. So AI is learning by the means of reinforcement. All right. Prompt engineering. Okay. So to understand prompt engineering, let's go to Chat AI and Chat GPT, and we'll see what prompt engineering is. So we go to chat.openai.com. So we go to the command prompt, and in the command prompt, we write something like, who is the Home Minister of USA. I don't know. So, oh, it doesn't have a Home Minister position. Okay. Who is the Home Minister of India? You can ask any question, right? So the question that you are asking is a prompt. So prompt engineering is something very new. Okay, I hope you can see my screen. If you cannot, just tell me. The prompt engineering is just anything that you write here is a prompt that you give to the AI. But there are technicalities involved with writing a prompt. Right? I give you an example. If you have to solve a murder story, I give you a murder story that I give the same to the AI, right? Grandmother dies of natural causes. Like grandmother died of a heart attack, right? Of heart attack. So let's say, hello AI, can you solve this murder mystery? So it doesn't have any context. So now he asks, I would love to hear solve a murder mystery. Please give me details of this case. So what we are doing is we didn't give it details all up front. We are building the details with each prompt that we are writing. So more details is grandmother died of heart attack. She has two identical twin granddaughters. And on grandmother's funeral, a man comes. And after 2 months, the father is murdered. Who killed the father? Okay, now we are giving more context to ChatGPT. So the ChatGPT is building more context, just like you are building more context. ChatGPT is also building more context. This puzzle seems to hinge on the motive and connections between characters mentioned. The key clue here is the man who appears at grandmother's funeral and the events following the funeral. Scenario suggested one of the twin daughters meets the man at the funeral. So it is trying to interpret. Okay, murder weapon is recovered from the man. This suggests the man himself could be directly involved in the murder. Here are the possibilities. So we are building context one by one, right? So there are ways of prompt engineering. So we have to give context to ChatGPT. We can give context to ChatGPT in 0 shot. We can give all the information about the case to ChatGPT. We can build context in a few shot, right? Or we can build the context in chain of thoughts. We can tell ChatGPT to please think out loud and reach a conclusion and tell me what you thought, right? But now, but there is a catch to this. So you are building a context on, here. So today, this is the context, right? So now after in the evening, I have to go to my friend's birthday party. I would ask, what should I wear to the event? The ChatGPT may think that the event is the funeral. Give me a photograph, right? To help you decide to where, I need to know more about the event. So it's not confused. That's the event that I told you about. But I don't know that the ChatGPT is, it seems like you've been making a mix up. So see, ChatGPT is actually very smart. So I've said the event in the story I told, event or occasion. So let's see. So it thinks that I'm going to a funeral. Where is the photo of the outfit? Just like you talk to a human, you can, so it's creating an image now. Let's see what image it creates. So I have to go to a funeral, what image I would get, let's see. See, so this is the image that the chat GPT gave me. All right. So next thing is components of an effective prompt. The effective prompt should provide clarity, clear and unambiguous language, context, sufficient background information, conciseness, free of unnecessary details to maintain focus. So that's called prompt engineering. All right. So, but the thing is, you should never trust the results what ChatGPT gives you, or any AI model for that matter that gives you, because the results have bias and unpredictability. Right? So they have bias and unpredictability because any AI model is built on top of the data that human beings provide in the real world, right? And human beings provide data or the comments or the trolls that human beings write. If that is being used by AI to train itself, then of course, on those trolls, on those messages, there is a lot of bias. Let me give you some examples. Google Photos in 2015 mislabeled African American individual as a gorilla. This is so offensive, right? Amazon hiring tool in 2018 favored male candidates over female candidates, reflecting gender bias in its training data. Apple Card in 2019 accused of gender bias in credit limit decisions, with women receiving significantly lower credit limits than men. Right? So this is called bias. There is unpredictability. Right? Twitter chatbot began producing offensive and inappropriate tweets after interaction with the users. Right? Smart assistants like Siri and Alexa gave irrelevant and unexpected answers to straightforward questions. So this bias and unpredictability can erode the trust in AI technologies and challenge their reliability in critical decision-making process. So now let's come to AI in banks. So there are so many applications. One of the most important application that most of my colleagues have been doing is whatever mails they have to write to their seniors, they write a draft of that mail and then tell Chat GPT to enhance that mail, making it more professional and correct any typos. So Chat GPT will generate a very, very nice looking email, which will look very professional. Think about you're sending an email to your chairman and there is a typo. You don't want to do that, right? So run it by Chat GPT once and then send it. So that's a good practice. Let's take some more examples. Enhancing customer service at front desk. If you're sitting at a front desk, so you could say, your customer comes and asks, what are the current interest rates of mortgage loans? You don't know the current exact value, so you go to Chat GPT, write a prompt, or ask Chat GPT, provide current interest rates for mortgage loans, or explain the difference between personal loan products, right? Furthermore, during high traffic periods, AI can manage multiple inquiries simultaneously without delays, right? So there's a real world example. Many banks have integrated AI-based chatbots like Erica. The Bank of America has integrated Erica, which helps millions of users by providing instant response to queries, aiding in simple transactions, and offering financial advice. So, in fact, most of the BPOs or the call centers, traditional call centers, are being replaced by AI support. Automating compliance checks in operations. You could ask what are the latest RBI guidelines on KYC compliance on digital accounts, right? Sometimes we are not aware of the updates in the guidelines. So you can just ask AI, give me the latest updated RBI guidelines. Update the compliance checklist according to the latest anti-money laundering laws. Additionally, AI can automate the tracking of transactions that must be reported under new regulations, ensuring the banks meet all legal requirements without extensive manual oversight. Example is HSBC has utilized AI to automate monitoring and analysis. So there are multiple examples. Let's run through a few more. Supporting credit analysis. Credit analysis can use AI to enhance decision-making process by evaluating loan applications more thoroughly and swiftly. Right? This allows for quick data-driven decisions. AI can also suggest optimal interest rates based on risk profiles, helping banks manage their risk profiles more effectively. Another example could be calculating financial projections in wealth management. Wealth managers can offer sophisticated financial advice now. For example, they can say calculate the expected return on a portfolio with 60% equity, 40% bonds over 10 years. Simulate the impact of major market events on clients' retirement savings. So many investment advisors are also using AI. Risk management in investment decisions. Right? You can perform detailed risk assessment and scenario analysis. Evaluate the liquidity risk of our current asset portfolios. JP Morgan Chase implemented an AI program called LOXM that uses historical data to execute equity trades optimally. This has minimized costs, maximized returns for investors, showcasing how AI can significantly enhance trading strategies in financial markets. Streamlining transactional process for cash handling. So you can say predict the cash flow requirements for the upcoming week. So right now, AI is so smart that restaurants have been using it, and to the restaurant, it would tell, okay, today you will receive 25 order of chicken roll. So and by the end of the day, the restaurant would receive 25 order of chicken roll. So it has become so accurate that the restaurant can plan how much of inventory they need for the day, how much of chicken they have to buy, how much of flour they have to buy, how much of eggs they have to buy, and things like that. So it is being said that using AI for predictive modeling can actually reduce the operation cost of any business by 30%. So AI is here to save money, and the benefits will be passed on to the regular customers like us. And what it is being said that if the companies are saving 30% on their expenses, then part of this would be passed on to the end customers like us as well. Improving loan processing efficiency. You can ask ChatGPT to verify the completeness and accuracy of submitted loan application documents, right? We can highlight any discrepancies in the loan application. Lenders like Quicken Loan uses AI to streamline the mortgage application approval process. Assisting in fraud detection. So it is very important if there are money laundering happening, there is some pattern between different accounts. So usually what would happen is if someone wants to launder money, they would probably 10 people would probably put money in one single account. For example, less than 10,000 rupees, which is a flag limit. So probably 10 people would deposit 9,900 rupees in one single account. Then you can assess, oh, this is probably a fraud or a money laundering that is happening. And you can look at these trends very easily using AI models. Enhancing employee training and development, right? So AT&T has leveraged AI to personalize learning for its employees. Its AI platform analyzes individual learning needs and job roles to recommend customized courses, improving training outcomes and employee satisfaction. Right? So AI can be used to personalize the data for individual needs. Optimizing market campaigns. Netflix uses AI to analyze viewing habits and preferences, which helps in tailoring marketing campaigns for new shows and seasons to individual users. Right? So personalization strategy has significantly improved customer engagement. Personalization is extremely important, and AI can totally help with that. Streamlining audit process. You can ask AI conduct a preliminary audit of transaction of 2023 for discrepancies, right? So AI can do it for you. Cross-verify the reported figures in the latest compliance report with transaction data. All right. So next we'll do a small exercise where all of you can actually get a button on your Google Drive, which looks like this. You see, there's a button called Ask Gemini. So Gemini is Google's AI, and you can get it on this is Google Drive, and also I have a Gmail account. So the Gmail also I have this for AI. So of course this does a bunch of things, but what I would want you to do is to scan this code. You would be going to this link. I can actually share this link in the chat window. Uh, Go to this link, and once you go to this link, I am already in, so it says success, you are in. But once you go to this link, you can express interest into signing up to Express in Google Workspace Labs, and then you will see a page for success you are in. You just have to do these 2-3 steps. Just click on Express Interest, and then next time you log in, you will have a button for Ask Gemini, just like this. So this will be AI in your Google account, and you can totally leverage using AI. So either scan this code. So once you are done, give me a thumbs up, please. Click on the link in the chat window, and you'll be prompted to sign up for Google AI. Give me a thumbs up, please, once you are done. Okay, Prashant, Pankaj, all right. All right, two of you are done. Anyone else wants to do the same? Leave a comment in the chat, maybe. All right, just clicking the link and then clicking on Express Interest will do it. All right, I'll move on. So once you are signed up, you would have this button on your Google Sheet. So now what we'll do is we'll make a new table, Google Sheet, right? We'll make a new table. We'll call it AI tutorial. AI tutorial banking trends. Now I want some data. So there are a couple of AI tools that you can use. So let's ask Gemini, can you add a table for bank customers? So I'll show you what it can do right now, and maybe when it doesn't know what to do, we'll go to a smarter version of AI. Oh, wow. Okay, that's great. So it inserted a table. I can say, okay, inserted, right? So it's right here. Or I can do undo, right? Let's do undo. Um, let's ask, can you generate a table for bank employees, bank customers, with their credit scores? Let's see. Oh, Gemini is still learning and can't help you with that. Try a different request. So Gemini has some limited applications, but what we have right now, is multiple AI tools. So what I go to Chat GPT, I'll click on new context. So I'll say generate a table for bank customers uh, with multiple information in an add column for the city they live in and credit score they have and salary they make. Let's see. Oh my God. Okay, generate 10 rows. It only generated 5 rows. I'll say generate 10 rows. Awesome. So let's take these 10 rows. We have some data to play with, right? So once we have some data to play with, we can do more things. So, so now what we want to do is, I think I should make, what do we call, a pivot table. Let's see how much of average salary in each city is, right? Let's do that. I'm curious to see what is the average salary for each city, right? So for that, I want to make a pivot table, right? So I realized Gemini is not that good. So let's close this. So there's another extension that I found, which we call it add-on. Click on get add-on, and I got an extension by the name of coefficient. Coefficient. This one, right? So I've already installed it. It will call me to uninstall, but I've already installed it. So let's open coefficient. So it comes here. I'll say launch coefficient. So coefficient will help me to maybe generate a pivot table just by writing some text. So it'll say GPT Copilot. I click on that. It says pivot builder. I click on that pivot builder. I'll say generate a pivot table containing average salary for each city. All right, so it needs some data. So I'll say this is the data range. It will automatically fill. Click on build. Hmm. Let's see what it'll do. I'll say add to the existing sheet. Add it right here. Click on insert. Okay. Divide by 0. Let's see. There's some problem. So I'll say is maybe there is some problem with the data, which is what I think. It's a format number. It says automatic, but I say this is number. Something happened. No. 85,000, 19,000. Okay, so there was some problem with this. This is not being recognized as a number. Let's see what we can do. Currency. Did it do something? I removed all the converts into pounds. Okay. Custom currency. Indian rupee apply. It's not applying. It is taking this as a text. That's the problem. Right? So here we see that it generated a pivot table. We just gave it some instructions. It made a pivot table just like this. Okay. So now I want to see a chart also. Let's see a chart, right? So same data range. Um, Build a bar chart showing salary for each name. Existing sheet, let's see, insert it here. You see, John Doe has some salary, James Smith has some salary. Is it so important to, you just have to type what you want and it will make it for you. There is one more thing, actually. Let's go to something called, I'm just telling you all the tools available that you can use. There are so many more tools. These are some things that I have explored myself. So go to julius.ai, start chat. So what you have to do is you have to link this sheet to Julius AI. So how you would do that? You have to first share this sheet with everyone, right? Everyone can maybe edit. I'll say copy link, done. Go back here. I'll say, okay, Google Sheet, or connect a Google Sheet. Oh, wow. Let's do connect a Google Sheet. So I'll name it testing. I'll say connect. It is connecting to Google Sheet. So I'll ask him, can you read the data? So will you write a Python code to write the data? Right? It will also format the data to display it in a table right here in front of you. And it will also write a response. It says, okay, I read the data, it looks like this. Right? The sheet contains information such as customer ID, name, email, credit score, and salary. Can you give me average credit score of all customers having salary less than 100,000? Let's see. The average credit score of customers salary less than 10,000, 710, right? So you can do a lot of data analysis on this data that you have using AI tools like Julius and others. All right. So going back. So use ChatGPT to create dummy table based on Google Sheet. Get your add-on. Make a pivot table. Pivot table is created. Create a bar chart. Bar chart is created. Right? Julius AI. You link with your Google Sheet. Okay. So this is the last part of our discussion today. So what we will do is we'll discuss about how to integrate ChatGPT AI API in custom AI development. So ChatGPT, just like you see what it's here, this is ChatGPT. It has API as well. ChatGPT API login. Let's do that. Let's see how it looks. Right, ChatGPT API. Right, so let's see. Where is AI? Continue with Google. So most of you would be interested in coding. So I believe this is where you can do is you can maybe use ChatGPT API to make a call to this API using the front end code that you make in React or something. You can call Chat API, GPT API directly. Quick start API keys. Yeah, that's where you have to go. You click on create a new secret key, name it, give it a project, right? Then you can create a secret key, and then you can use that secret key to make a call to ChatGPT with that secret key. So you can integrate ChatGPT in custom AI development, just like that. As you can imagine, what you will get is enhanced customer interaction. For example, you have to make a chat bot. You can use ChatGPT underneath. And maybe if the ChatGPT would actually handle 80% of your chat responses, because it's 80-20 rule. So with 20% of ChatGPT's responses, you would be able to handle 80% of the responses, customer problems. So what you can do is you can directly use ChatGPT API. But if you're not satisfied with how accurate it is, you can actually train that ChatGPT API adding a layer of your own. ChatGPT already has 96 layers. Probably you can make custom 4 or 5 layer of your own AI model, and then your results will be more tailored to your bank and your customers. So, so one benefit here is enhanced customer interaction. Second is automation of routine tasks. So routine tasks which require a little bit of intelligence could be automated. Personalized customer experience. So AI would know details about your customer, and they can offer the customer better products than anyone who is just interacting with that customer. So implementation steps. The first is the API setup. Obtain the API keys from OpenAI and configure the API settings to align with the bank's data security protocols. Second is system integration. Integrate the ChatGPT API with the bank's customer relationship management and other backend systems. Right. Then is customization. Develop custom prompts and responses based on typical customer interactions, incorporating bank-specific information and services. Then you do the testing. Then you do a deployment. All right. So real-world applications. A regional bank integrates the ChatGPT API to create a virtual financial advisor that offer customers investment advice based on their transaction history and financial goals. Right? The AI advisor can discuss various investment strategies, explain the risks and benefits of different financial products, and help plan for future financial needs, providing a highly personalized banking experience. Okay, there are some challenges also. So there are some data privacy and security challenges. We have to ensure that all the integrations comply with financial regulations and data protection laws. Continuous learning and updating. We have to regularly update the AI models and system integrations to accommodate new banking products, services, and changes in customer behavior. User acceptance. You have to educate customers on how to interact with AI-driven systems and addressing only any hesitations or concerns about AI in their financial interactions. Right? More related to prompt engineering. All right. So these are all slides for AI. So if anybody has any questions or concerns, you can feel free to unmute and ask. Okay, so we are getting to the end of this topic today, but I'm sure this would be helpful in designing any product for your bank. The AI can help in any improvements in any system, really. So maybe you can see the lowest hanging fruit in your tech stack at your banks, where you can totally just integrate with ChatGPT and update any current existing product. Maybe it could be just automating data entry by the use of AI, or maybe just enhancing any current process. Maybe you could do something like someone has to check the quality of loan application if all the rules have been followed. You could integrate on the back end with ChatGPT, and someone can upload their document, and you make a call to ChatGPT, and boom, ChatGPT would tell some response and look at that response. In addition to, of course, the traditional process that we have been following to approve or not approve, review a loan application, this could be in addition to that. Having said that, we also have a course which will this time will not cover it, but we have a course on hardcore, going deep down into coding, and we would be making our own website and also an app. We will deploy it in two different platforms, and we will be on the back end. We'll be making a call to Chat GPT, and we'll also be deploying that application so that you can know end to end how to configure your project. It will be open source. And also, I saw that I missed one question from Sachin sir. He asked, can you please share some information how blockchain works? If you can give example, how blockchain technology is reliable in banking system. So I will probably take another session tomorrow on blockchain. And this is very interesting topic. It's not just you, but I've seen gotten requests for the same topic in multiple occasions. So I'll try to get something together for a course tomorrow. But in short, how blockchain works is blockchain is nothing but a ledger on the cloud. In simple words, if let's say there's a classroom full of students, and then there's a pen, and the teacher gives a pen to one student and asks the student to make an entry in this book, right? And that book is shared between all the students so that anybody knows in the classroom who has got the pen the last time. So he passes the pen to someone else. Here, someone else, person B, he makes an entry into that book. Then person C, then he makes an entry into the book. The entry will tell you a chain of events, events being pen being passed around, and that is nothing but a blockchain. Once that book gets filled, right, you have another book in continuation for the previous book. So the book is a block, and connecting all of these blocks together, one after the other, one book after the other, would make it a blockchain. Right? So blockchain in itself has its unique properties. One of its property is that it is immutable. Immutable meaning that anybody who writes in the book, that cannot be deleted. So every student who is writing in the book is writing with a pen and not a pencil. So everything that is written is been written forever. It cannot be destroyed or it cannot be changed. The second property is all the information is visible to everyone, all the participants using that blockchain. So I didn't say this blockchain is totally public, but it could be semi-public or semi-private, or because it could be used by maybe hundreds of people. So only hundreds of people will be able to see that blockchain. Or if it's totally public, then everyone can see the blockchain. Bitcoin's blockchain is totally public, but you can configure blockchain to be used within a bank, only within a bank, so that anyone outside the bank cannot see that blockchain. But the property of immutability, that nothing can be changed on the blockchain, will remain the same. Right? There are applications to just this simple concept that smart contracts could be enabled, because not just a record on the blockchain like I own that pen. You could also have a transaction on the blockchain that I gave my money to someone else, but this money got transferred from this person to the other person. Or you could also have lines of code on the blockchain that could do some specific things, and this lines of code is called smart contracts. So based on because of this property of blockchain, which can be blockchain can be centralized, decentralized, or semi-centralized, which is distributed. So we can talk all about this tomorrow. I will take a session. But for now, I think we are done for today. If anybody has any question, please feel free to unmute and ask.